So I enveloped next to Joseph, you're where you sat last week. You can move over there.
I sat here last week.
Did you?
That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you can probably live already. Yeah, you just kind of guess what it is. I mean, I do.
Did you go to the walk up?
Yeah.
Anyway, I do. But then little system over there, yeah.
You're also good, by the way.
I'll explain the rest.
The only way there can be Monday is if we vote in the polls.
I voted
Anyway, I was curious.
I voted just to vote by poll tomorrow, which I think is.
I think that would pretty easy.
I'm looking so far.
I think I did very well, but I think I did
One person voted to
I really wouldn't know what it was. It's nice, yeah.
I don't think we can see.
Yeah, like my last name, I did, and I used all the
So you were about to say
So that went for a lot.
no. Thinking about it.
Yeah. Let's go use the correct equation. So that way, the lowest possible score.
I'm good.
I would discuss the it's really delayed. It is not the effect I was hoping for. It'll go up eventually. We'll see, like, there. Yeah, like, it's like 15. And there was an HR. Yeah, I mean, it was actually
Everyone's good to sit wherever. Just take your name and the card in front of it with you if you're going to move seats.
Should they open it yet?
Do not open it.
We're not too much.
I forgot what was in my pocket. I was like, what does poker mean? I got the desk and left the dining
It's a big style.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's red.
Wow, that is. The stream is like 10 seconds gets alienated. I'm watching myself on my laptop every night. No, I feel that. It's pretty easy to stop. I did This isn't a side stage, you just like guess. Many reveals on
You guessed pretty well.
Sorry.
And like,
Sorry, my bad. What if I don't accept?
Yeah.
It's fine.
TikTok takes forever to load.
Yeah.
Running around.
I got like 2, 4.
I know, and I know that's what they were trying to do.
We're in our normal spot.
And I feel so bad my mental health, that is not what
I'm no longer. You know, we saw each other like once a week.
As people are coming in, there isn't assigned seating. I just had to give out name tents for people with their committee assignments. So you can take your name tent and move it wherever you'd like to sit. Just take the card with you if you have a card.
Carson. Oh yeah.
Hey guys, for those who just walked in, there are no assigned seats. Just find your name tent, grab it, and grab the card that goes with it if you're gonna move seats. I now call this meeting of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association Student Senate to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to begin our Student Senate meeting taking place Thursday, April 20th, 2023 with a land acknowledgement. We recognize that Kansas State University, as the first land-grant institution, stands on the ancestral lands of the Kaw people. Our state of Kansas is home to 4 federally recognized Native nations: the Iowa, Kickapoo, Prairie Band Potawatomi, and Sac and Fox. We must remember that the land serving as the foundation for this institution was and still is stolen land acquired by white settlers. We pledge our commitment to creating decolonized spaces at the university while advocating for the support and future success of Indigenous faculty, staff, and students at K-State. With that, Speaker Pro Tem Kappelman will take it away with our first roll call.
Good evening, everyone. Abadir.
Here.
Atchison.
Here.
Ayers. Bellamy.
Here.
Biggs. Blood.
Here.
Broughton.
Here.
Bruckner.
Here.
Koch.
Here.
Compton.
Here.
Cuesta.
Here.
Dennis.
Here.
Duntz.
Here.
Fogel.
Here.
Glasscock.
Here.
Griffith.
Here.
Hartzell.
Here.
Heatherman. Hoffmans.
Here.
Jacobson.
Here.
Kamen.
Here.
Kidd.
Here.
Kermer.
Here.
Kinsey.
Here.
Long.
Here.
O'Malley.
Here.
Oury. Peterson. Pondillo.
Here.
Porter.
Here.
Rios.
Here.
Rivard.
Here.
Rodriguez Melendez.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
Saya Carly.
Here.
Saya Nick.
Here.
Spindler.
Here.
Strunk.
Here.
Sushanik.
Here.
And Wolf.
Here.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brady. We'll now move into our first open period. Are there any first open period speakers this evening? Awesome. Seeing none, we will move into approval of the minutes. The minutes were distributed on Tuesday along with the agenda and legislation tracking information. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Senator Bellamy.
Would you approve the minutes unanimously?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any objections? Awesome. We will move into announcements. Applications for the Strategic Oversight Chair are open. If you are interested in sitting on the Senate Executive Committee and chairing the Strategic Oversight Committee, please follow the link that is attached in the agenda. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself, Speaker Pro Tempore Kappelman, or former Chair Nick Saya. To proxies, if you're going to be absent from a Student Senate meeting, fill out the link, or even if you aren't sure if your absence will be excused. 3, if you will be physically absent from Student Senate and would still like to attend via Zoom, please fill out the Student Senator Zoom request form. Speaker Thomas will review these requests based on the Student Senate attendance policy. 4, want to give props to someone in Student Senate, fill out the Senate shoutout form, and Speaker Pro Tempore Kappelman will read them at the end of the meeting. Speaker Pro Tempore Kappelman made a new form and made it pretty looking, so fill out the Senate shoutouts. 5, SGA Member of the Week is Nick Saya. Nick has been an active member of SGA for 3 years, being elected as Speaker Pro Tempore, helping create and chair the Strategic Oversight Committee, and recently writing a commendation to the American Society of Civil Engineers for hosting their student symposium this past weekend. Thanks for your dedication to all students, Nick. As you you will see on the agenda, there's the events calendar. This includes now all of the committee meetings. Tonight, you will all find out what committee you have been placed on as each senator sits on a committee. We will have a meeting this upcoming week, and that will be our only meeting until we come back in the fall. And the quote of the week is, "Great difficulties may be surmounted by patience and perseverance." Abigail Adams. Moving on to commendations. Is there a motion to, first up is Resolution 232412. Do we have a motion to consider Resolution 232412? Chair Long.
I move to consider resolution 232412. Second.
Awesome. Will the author please come forward?
Memory of Martin, RIP, my short lover. Okay, so this is resolution 23, just kidding. 2412, commendation to the African Student Union Wedding Party, authors, me. Whereas on April 8th, 2023, the African Student Union hosted an African wedding party, which hosted over 250 guests and students. Whereas at this event, the audience was taken into a traditional African wedding with two families coming together to become one. Whereas this event had a representation of multiple countries and presentations and a fashion show of cultural wear to really immerse all students. Whereas it started off with a knocking ceremony in which one party, the groom usually, asked permission from the family, the bride, to take their partner's hand in marriage. Whereas there are gifts presented to the family, being asked for permission, and then the family will accept or deny this request. Whereas then there is a engagement ceremony, bringing two families into one, including a dowry, exchange of IDU, dancing, traditional food, and whereas through this event, students and community members engaged in learning a culture with so much expression and passion about love, family, and life. Be resolved that Section 1, the Kansas State Student Governing Association commends the African Student Union on the dedication of providing an environment of culture for expansive learning and an enjoyable moment. Section 2, upon passage by the Student Senate and the signature of the Student Body President, a copy of this resolution shall be sent to African Student Union President. I'm so sorry if I butcher your name, Luchi Akama, African. How? Amako, thank you so much. I appreciate that. African Student Union Vice President Loretta Ez, Executive Director of Diversity and Multicultural Affairs Mildred Chavez, Director of Diversity and Multicultural Student Life Kevin Santos Flores, Vice President for Student Life Dr. Thomas Lane, and University President Dr. Richard H. Linton.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve Resolution 232412 unanimously? Chair Cuesta.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Are there any objections? Seeing none, that will be approved unanimously. Up next is Resolution 232413. Is there a motion to consider Resolution 232413? Senator Bellamy.
I move to consider resolution 232413.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Will the author please come forward?
All right, so this is resolution 232413, commendation to the International Coordinating Council for the International Week. Authors myself, surprise. Whereas Kansas State University has an ever-growing population of 995 international students, those numbers were pulled from the fall, from 99 countries, thus representation is needed for all students, whereas the International Coordinating Council, ICC, hosted their International Week for students, faculty, and staff in the community on the week of March 26th to April 2nd, 2023, whereas there were 6 different events hosted throughout the week, whereas each event gave insight into the beauty of many different cultures around the globe, and here at K-State, giving international students a place to bring a piece of their home into Kansas State University. Whereas there was a fashion show to detail different culture wear, a parade to showcase different countries represented within K-State, dance lessons to bond and communicate, a panel discussion on being an international student, a cultural exhibition of diverse clothing, and a talent show to be expressive. And whereas International Week gave the opportunity to broaden perspectives, reduce stigma, learn about cultures around the world, and expose their individual cultures to others, bringing the campus community closer together and forming connections. Be it resolved that Section 1, the Kansas State Student Governing Association commends the International Coordinating Council on the immersive experience of International Week. Through this event, the Kansas State University community was able to expand their knowledge of cultures and educate others on theirs. The hard work, time, and dedication brought forth does not go unnoticed. Section 2, upon passage by the Student Senate and signature of the Student Body President, a copy of this resolution shall be sent to International Coordinating Council President Catherine, I'm just going to say O, International Coordinating Council Vice President Nashidi D, International Student and Scholar Services Director Sarah Thurston, Vice President for Student Life Dr. Thomas Lane, and University President Dr. Richard H. Linton.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author?
Love it.
Seeing none, Chair Cuesta.
I move to approve Resolution 13 unanimously. Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Are there any objections? Seeing none, that will be approved unanimously. Up next, we have Resolution 232414. Chair Cuesta.
I move to consider Resolution 14.
It has been moved and seconded. Will the author please come forward?
Thanks, Carson. Commendation to the Kansas State University ASCE Student Chapter. Whereas Kansas State University hosted the American Society of Civil Engineers ASCE Mid-America Student Symposium on April 13th through 15th, 2023. Whereas this event drew more than 350 students and faculty from 15 institutions in the Midwest to compete across 16 events. Whereas the KSU ASCE chapter placed first in 3 events, secured eligibility for a wild card slot at the 2023 national competition in concrete canoe, qualified outright to the national competition in steel bridge, and won the overall symposium trophy. And whereas this event would not have been possible without the hard work of K-State students, faculty, staff, and symposium hosts. Undergraduate Program Director Dr. Scott Schiff, Event Coordinator Aaron Muirhead, Civil Engineering Senior Hunter Meyer, and Civil Engineering Senior Isabel McCann. Be it resolved that Section 1, Kansas State University Student Governing Association, commends the Kansas State University chapter of the American Society of Civil Engineers for its outstanding representation of hospitality, extraordinary effort, and competitive excellence. Upon passage by the Student Senate and signature of the Student Body President, a copy of this resolution shall be sent to the President of the KSU ASCE chapter, Grace Hartman, President of the KSU Steel Bridge team, Johan Rogers, President of the KSU Concrete Canoe team and Symposium student host Hunter Meyer, Symposium student host Isabel McCann, Civil Engineering Event Coordinator Aaron Muirhead, Civil Engineering Undergraduate Program Director Dr. Scott Schiff, Civil Engineering Department Head Dr. Chris Jones, Carl R. Ice College of Engineering Senior Associate Dean Dr. Gary Clark, and Carl R. Ice College of Engineering Dean Dr. Matt O'Keefe.
Thank you. Are there any questions or corrections for the author?
Okay, the numbering on this copy is in the wrong font.
Let's go note that, yeah.
It's like common sense.
Are there any, Chair Long?
I have no questions. I'm gonna approve this.
Okay.
Cool. I move to approve Resolution 14. Unanimously. Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve Resolution 14 unanimously. Are there any objections? Seeing none, it will stand approved. Up next, we have approval of appointments. Is there a motion to consider Resolution 11? Chair Cuesta.
I move to consider Resolution 11. Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Will the author please come forward?
Resolution 232411, approval of new student senators, author Brian Blood, sponsor Kate Thomas. Whereas there are currently 3 vacancies for the position of student senator for the College of Agriculture, Whereas Colton Cupp and Eric Moore have the highest vote totals of eligible and willing candidates in the 2023 SGA general election in the College of Agriculture. Whereas there are currently 2 vacancies for the position of student senator for the College of Arts and Sciences, and whereas Lainey Droutz and Katie West have the next highest vote totals of eligible and willing candidates in the 2023 SGA general election in the College of Arts and Sciences. Be it resolved that Section 1, the following individuals be approved as student senators for the College of Agriculture, Colton Cupp and Eric Moore. Section 2, the following individuals be approved as student senators for the College of Arts and Sciences, Lainey Droutz and Katie West.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the Resolution 11? Senator Biggs.
I move to approve Resolution 11. Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Will those 4 individuals please come down to get sworn in? And if there's anybody else here that hasn't been sworn in yet for any reason, if they want to come down and get sworn in, they can do that now. Awesome. If you guys would raise your right hand and say, "I will" at the end. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of student senator and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association. Awesome. If you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves, name, pronouns, major, hometown, favorite smell.
Want to read that list again? Colton Cupp, hometown Scott City, Kansas. Majors animal science, pronouns are he, him. Favorite smell would have to be like fresh cut grass.
My name's Katie West. My major is political science. I'm from Hutchinson, Kansas. My pronouns are she, her, and I love fresh laundry smell.
Hi, I am Lainey Droutz. I'm a psych major. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and my favorite smell is cookies.
Eric Moore, sophomore in agriculture education from Atlanta, Kansas. Favorite smells probably right after like a nice heavy spring rain.
Thanks, guys. We will now move into committee reports. Are there any committee chairs that would like to give a report tonight? Seeing none, we will move into directors' reports. Are there any directors that would like to give a report tonight? Hey guys, so one of my jobs as speaker is to fill the committee chair positions. The Strategic Oversight Committee chair position is open, and it is still open until Saturday night at 11:55, because that is the time it would let me make the close form, not 11:59. Please consider applying for this. Interviews will be on Sunday. If you can't make Sunday work, we can work something out with you. There are 3 applicants for the position so far. Please apply. Also, you will see that you have an envelope in front of you. We are going to be revealing which committee everybody has been chosen to be a part of, as every senator who is sworn in will get placed on a committee. We did our best to place people on committees that they wanted to be on, but every committee needs to have people on it. So some people landed where we needed them to land, and we will get into that as soon as we finish director's reports. Are there any further directors that would like to give a report? Comms Director Coy.
Okay, so hello everyone. Okay, so hello everyone. My name's Riley Coy. If I haven't met you, and I'm the communications director this term. I wanted to come up here. I am in the process of doing headshots of all of the senators, so if you haven't signed up for a time yet, please do so. There's still time slots for next Thursday, or otherwise we're gonna have to work out another time between my class schedule and your class schedule to make those happen, which is gonna be a lot more complicated to do if you don't sign up for Thursday. So anyway, yeah.
Thanks, Riley. Are there any further committee chairs or directors that would like to give a report tonight? Awesome. Seeing none, we will move into committee time. So if the committee chairs would like to leave and go to the locations that we have previously picked out. If you were a senator last year or even the year before that, you will notice that we did not do a committee reveal. I think that they're fun, and we did them 3 years ago when our lovely faculty rep, Hannah Heatherman, 4 years ago. Oh, wow, you're old. When our lovely faculty rep, Miss Hannah Heatherman, was speaker. And so I decided that I wanted to do a committee reveal. So don't open your envelopes yet, Senator Broughton. But when you do, it is going to reveal the location that you're going to go to. And you will go to that location to meet your committee chair, have some conversation with your committee members, and figure out the people that you're going to be serving on a committee with for the next term. Are there any questions on that? Senator Broughton.
What if our committee chair isn't here tonight?
Go to the location that is on your card, and you will have a person that is there to explain things to you.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions? Okay. Committee time is going to be 15 minutes, so we will come back at 7:35. Feel free to open your envelopes.
I bought 2 committees for GSC this year, so. Bye. My professor was like, we need a representative on the graduate council, which is part of our because they needed student senators. How much give a vote to the ladies.
Yeah. As I was walking in, you were standing in the doorway, and I was like, is that Morgan? So I really didn't know until like you turned full and you were like this far. Really?
Right, I knew that.
There's that picture of you on like one of the SGA brochures.
Okay, I think that's what he's studying to do.
Oh, okay.
The big red white pillars.
How are you doing?
Yeah, so
I know. 4 years ago.
we're
I thought, well, so I signed up for 6:15 to do
There's no 3 of the
pitch outs, and I was like, oh.
So did you start
Right?
and go through?
Yeah.
So you ended your term at
So I
the
got all
beginning of the
stuff.
term?
Your mom got there, and I was like, dang, I'll do take grad pictures. I was like, I don't know this Riley person, but let's see her. And then I looked like,
Yeah.
next week.
I had to run straight from, I have the process and I had to basically come straight.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me about, what do you do now?
I have a colleague from 5:30 to 12:30. So it's like,
Wait, I need a picture.
oh, no. Oh, please.
I mean, I don't have headshots, but some of them are from.
Yes,
I work in.
I'm doing.
So I mean, for
yeah.
Yeah, I like when I first started, so.
like I tried to
My big focus areas are like writing tuition estimating. Even though I was still this year.
Every weekend.
Like writing tuition proposal.
Lots of
Requests.
Yeah.
State requirements. But it's really fun. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Always, I'm sure this is just their like
budget office.
This is the first time.
Always, but especially now.
Yeah.
Always, but especially now. It's like.
I did. When I should have shared it on is when Dave was giving.
I mean, it seems like there's kind of like the first 6 months were like
Maybe we could
reasonably chill, and then it was like since then it's been.
We're very,
all-
very
I'll be here.
wide and diverse house.
Like, I only trust this on Wednesday. It's been like, get the grant out.
I have other classes.
Yeah.
Online, but I like in-person classes.
Oh, yeah.
And proxy.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Except for like being
The hill that never ends.
I totally don't.
Congratulations. Wow, big deal, big deal, big deal.
It's good.
Yes. Remember the names I talked to.
Thank God for
But
that.
then I have time in classes right now.
Yes, yes, when you are doing the last
Master's
semester.
program.
Yeah, no, they.
I'm in the master's program.
We forwarded out to you, so that's really good.
I saw
this reading the
decided to take
that first full weekend in October. So like that first full weekend.
three classes all at once.
Oh, we're welcome.
Kate was very disappointed.
Yeah, I'll stop by. She's gonna be Vegas.
Yeah, for her
I have a test
bachelor's.
this week and
Ew.
my Thursday class.
Yeah.
Class is just
Oh,
like.
Just bigger than that.
Downstairs.
Just
Let's not go that far. Yeah, let's not go that far.
Ready for 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's a part of me that like kind of wants to see if I can persuade my parents to come up with Blue Weeks early, but my dad
Or
really wants my
Tuesdays.
mom to like see
It gets long way.
That's in Ohio, Mom and I are native Florida.
That's like.
Like we've seen fall leaves before, but like
Study.
it's a big deal for my.
See, I'll get hurricanes involved.
Yeah. So it's a big deal for my dad whenever he gets to show up.
They're good.
Get to see all the restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going well, it's exciting in a way.
They like,
What's
a good rating?
and everything.
Treaty change.
No,
Yeah.
I think everyone's like,
I go from the FSL.
Screw these guys. We're better.
We did it quite well. I mean, the Kansas City side.
What you say?
The Kansas City side.
Gotta rep the brand. You're wearing
And that's
boots.
not happening, so, like, definitely
PC
I really don't. I remember Christmas, I
don't know.
I never thought I would,
I wear boots. Genie from the city.
There's always the next thing I do.
Really does.
Bro, you went to if I wear boots next week, would you shit on me? Or people. That's true.
I love when.
I'm gonna wear boots next week.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm gonna wear the cycle that goes up. I'll wear the KC socks with them too.
I know, I told my mom, I did back at Christmas, I was like, I booked a vacation for May, like, as soon as this semester is over.
Dude, let me stop
Hey,
by.
and then we just never like solidified our plan, and now, so I don't have anything booked, but I'm still like, I have to go, I have to. Yeah, no matter what it is, road trip or something, I have to go. Get out and use the PTO. Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
I didn't realize how much important.
I don't think
we're
you do that. You're just
we're
doing
implementing like,
Not
a new financial software. Which like, the user group at first isn't
a lot in your 21st.
It's super large.
Yes.
And that's for revenue estimating purposes, so like,
You don't need to know the
that makes it better because it's not like
Believe me.
Okay.
large spreadsheets for every bunch of people yet.
No, it's ISC.
But the four of us learning it has been really, really good. It's all the like, the
just because of that.
Well, yeah, but she just gets.
No.
The thing is, she came here for a while back, but she doesn't get like.
We thought we would be
Yeah.
in the platform.
Yeah.
Well, we're from Turkey,
Mid
so.
January.
I literally didn't.
Into like the end of September.
That's cool, but I mean, fuck, yeah, if she goes back far enough and starts talking about the Byzantines and all that.
Which is
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, or we're trying to validate
I'll see stuff all the way.
Because of that.
I mean, the audit is basically like.
Hold up. Let's just say,
Crazy. But no one pays attention to it.
me and
because
my
World War I was
boyfriend
like
were
the
going
time
to
that
go
was
on,
so like everyone is always like World War I focused because it's way more.
on a trip to Europe the first week of April.
No.
Isn't
It's
an airline pilot, he only gets
Well, I
like
guess
one
they're not
vacation. A vacation. Yeah, so he gets tons of time off, but he only gets like one set. Yeah. Guaranteed, right. So we have like.
Anybody who goes those always knows they're in trouble.
You know, I was going like 7,
I know they started this
like a Friday through whole week and then Monday off.
What's like?
I imagine the trees are
Three different countries.
Okay, no you did not.
You were the Treaty of Versailles yet born? I was interested in reading about the inauguration. They're so under taught because like no one focuses on.
Yeah.
Like we talk about Lawrence of Arabia.
I just don't have to. I read NASA.
3 days off.
I feel like yeah, like I learned something like
Yeah, I was reading. That's like in World War
You used to say you could.
No, it's like European conflict, but like
Yeah, I
everyone
was
gets
just like David Campbell.
I went to
Yeah.
I respect that. I really do.
Take all my finals the week after.
The Black Sea some weird.
It's just like a
Versailles.
allocation.
It's closed. Like
Yeah.
city closed.
Yeah.
But they can't continue it originating
It's just kind of
thousands of years just to destroy.
Because that was Russia.
Yeah, so Russia took over. Yeah.
Even if we it's so funny. Things could just slow down just a little bit here, brother. That would be great.
Just across the
What's up?
No, it's okay. We're on.
You got a sign seeing today.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very confused with the black crits weren't there.
Open your big card.
They have matching place to go.
Israel.
Yeah.
You know, what committee are you on?
I'm not on a committee.
So
I got a special exception made.
Oh, I
Where's your traditional?
Yeah.
I'm also
Too good.
Yeah,
I'm also on 2 committees for GSC, so.
Yeah.
I just.
We'll try to go in September.
I was told it was an option. Looked at my schedule next semester. It said.
I mean, both good, but,
Basically, it was like a tax system, but it was
Yeah.
basically.
I'm on
Like, whoever was in control in there.
the board
Actually, I
of
worked for
directors
position.
for
It
Viking
was good, but people like DD.
And so,
It's good when you're
I've done it.
and it's good when the country, when the continent was unstable, but once like.
I've been involved with them for like 10 years. I know, I did. Did we talk about this?
That was 12 hours
So
left.
that.
And one of them was a capstone, she had a real professional course.
But-
Yeah, that's the thing.
So I started out trying to. Okay.
Hopefully they're like, well, and then like they
So
started.
why not?
Next semester, I went to Arabia's first tax.
But so I use like, so I use my
You're like,
Yeah.
you stop traveling across the Nizam class.
So I think we're like.
I got this.
Oh, Lawrence of Arabia?
I went to psychology to not have to be that.
Yeah, exactly.
British people walked into a
When I lived
room,
down there.
basically said, all right.
Now, when I lived at
Ethics,
Riverside,
professionalism, and therapy, which is one of my
tried
favorite
and
classes.
Yeah, it's
then I
super
never
fun.
have. I just
If you read some
never.
of his journals,
You should really,
he writes in Arabic.
you should really consider doing it in 24.
Oh,
really? That's our 50th year anniversary, so it's expected to be like.
Yeah.
Good to go.
But one of them is my master's.
Our 40th year.
Yeah.
My brain will be very dedicated.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. We don't have a master's project.
And it was just like a really.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
really
in
great
the Arabic one, it's just like.
Oh, good.
2 hours to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll mark my calendar for.
Anyway, I gotta head out. I'm gonna go bring some
Sorry, I'll talk
I
about this.
keep coming, helping to someone far away from here, but I keep hoping like one of the days will be,
Yeah, I was gonna do it.
you know, I don't drive and so.
Yeah, it's,
You know, or something like that. But.
because basically I have to work tomorrow.
I'll talk about it all.
That's exciting. Yeah, we have to come.
Oh, interesting.
Honestly,
That's easy, it's a very important one.
Yeah, well, basically my argument is look at the laws going on right now and tell me this.
You could do that in a page. Yeah. So you can do it in 2 paragraphs. What's going on? Here's my question now.
Look at the demographics of making laws versus being effective. This is a circle where this is what the play is about.
You get out right, I mean, right now, you're like, and it's so.
No, there is no context. Context is the best.
All I get is green with dollars. Yeah.
I think it's.
I would copy this lady. Yeah. And it's like that.
No, the president isn't supposed to, they're supposed to appoint a representative.
Okay, now that you have met your committees, we are going to move into introduction of legislation. Tonight we have Resolution 232415. Senator Griffith.
I move to consider resolution 15.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Will the author please come forward?
Try that again. Excellent. Resolution 2415, recommendation for a 2% increase to the student services fee rate. Author myself, sponsors Peyton Lynn, Blake Phillips, Evan Porter, Kate Thomas, and Parker Volgamore. Whereas the Kansas State University Student Governing Association, KSU SGA, is charged with the responsible allocation of student services fee. Whereas the student services fee is currently has a budget of approximately $14.1 million to be dispersed to various entities across campus. Whereas due to multiple years of enrollment decline in the COVID-19 pandemic, there have been insufficient collections of the student services fee revenue compared to the student services fee budget, resulting in substantial budget deficits. Whereas in fiscal year FY21, the student services fee faced a budget deficit of approximately $4 million. Whereas the 2020-2021 Student Services Fee Committee decreased the overall student services fee budget by approximately $305,000. Whereas after FY21, Kansas State University changed how the student services fee was assessed due to an increase in online classes. Whereas in FY 2022, the student services fee faced a budget deficit of about $2 million. Whereas the 2021-2022 Student Services Fee Committee decreased the overall student service fee budget by about $1.36 million. Whereas in FY 23, the student services fee faced a budget deficit of about $2 million. That's not right, I should say $1 million. Whereas upon receipt of the fall 2022 20-day enrollment numbers, it was determined that partially as a result of the FY 2021 fee assessment changes, summer fee collections were higher than anticipated. Whereas upon receipt of the 2023 20-day enrollment numbers, it was determined that the projected deficit would be lower than initially believed. Whereas based on current enrollment projections, if the student services fee were to remain at a rate of 470.40 rate, that's the old rate, a budget deficit requiring mid-year callbacks at KSU SGA's insufficient funds process is possible. Whereas on Monday, April 17, 2023, the Student Services Fee Committee Chair and Speaker of the Student Senate met with University Administration to discuss the current state of the Student Services Fee budget. Whereas Student Services Fee Committee Chair, Speaker of the Student Senate, and University Administration mutually agreed to present the Kansas Board of Regents, KBOR, a 2% increase to the student service fee rate, bringing the rate of the student services fee to $489.24. Whereas, based on current enrollment projections, a 2% increase in the student service fee rate will likely result in about $280,000 in additional revenue, which will make the possibility of mid-year budget callback through KSU SGA's insufficient funds process very unlikely. Whereas, increasing the rate of the student services fee will not only help student services fee become budget neutral, but also the Student Services Fee Committee to begin reinvesting resources into student services on campus. Whereas KSU SGA is committed to enhancing the student experience at Kansas State University towards all students, and whereas a 2% increase in the student services fee rate substantially increases the benefit that a student will receive from the student services fee. Be it enacted that, Section 1, the Kansas State University Student Governing Association, KSU SGA Student Senate, officially recommends that Kansas State University propose a 2% increase of the student services fee rate to the Kansas Board of Regents. Section 2, upon passage by the Student Senate, a copy of the resolution shall be sent to Student Services Fee Committee Advisor Jen Owensby, Division of Financial Services Assistant Vice President Fran Wilbrandt, Vice President of Administration and Finance Ethan Erickson, Vice President of Student Life and Dean of Students Dr. Thomas Lane, and University President Dr. Richard H. Linton.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author? Senator Kermer.
Yeah, when a student first enrolls here at K-State, is there some sort of notification on what their student services fee pays for?
Yes, every student when they enroll gets a breakdown of the fee structure. I don't know off the top of my head if the part where it says student service fee is broken down to exactly what it pays for. That is available. I'm not sure every student automatically gets it though. So yes, it is available.
Senator Griffith.
Why did you pick 2%?
That is the amount of money that we did a 3% increase last year, 2% now. We are at the point, the lowest point where we feel comfortable saying we can start stopping. We're not going to do insufficient funds to call back, so we call back the money mid-year, and we can start, hopefully, knock on wood, maybe reinvesting some of that money into our entities.
Chair Cuesta.
What is the increase in dollar amounts?
So that 2% is around 280. We don't know exact dollar amounts because it's based off the number of students. So approximately $280,000.
Senator Griffith.
How much would that increase per student?
So it'll go from $479.50 right now up to that $489.24. So about $10.
Senator Kermer.
Can you scroll up on the bill just real quick? believe it says 470 for you. Is that 479 for you?
So yeah, that is the rate before the 3% increase. So it's just so if we had reigned at that before the 3% last year, that's what that number is.
Senator Porter.
I have a correction. On line 43, it should be 479.40, not 470.40.
That is the rate before the 3%. Right.
It's 479.40 right now.
Right.
It says 470.40 on the legislation. That 0 should be a 9.
Oh, I'm tracking. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. Are there any further questions or corrections for the author? Senator Koch.
If you increased it last year and you want to increase it this year, what's going to stop you from increasing it next year and keep increasing it?
We have discussed with the university administration and just the SSF exec team in total, we will not be doing that. But we have a justification right now to raise it so we can reach budget solvency and hopefully start having some money back. We have no plans to do it further. And administration is very much on board with this is the last one.
Senator Pandillo.
Yeah, have you reached out to any students that would directly affect? Because I know that you said that you reached out to a certain team. Have you reached out to any constituents that fit into that?
It's going to affect every student. So that's really where we hope. The committee, last year's committee was also in support of this. They never took an official vote on it, but they were all unanimously in support of it. Since it affects every student, no, we haven't reached out to specific groups. Yeah.
Senator Kidd.
So can you share with us the history of the Kansas Board of Regents approving or denying our requests? Like, have you ever submitted a request to raise it and then they've denied it instead? Or?
I'm not sure if they've ever outright denied one of our requests, but they have been very against the idea up until recently. Prior to COVID and at the very start of COVID, it was we will be doing no increases. More recently in the past year, they've been welcome to some increases, mostly due to the state of the Kansas legislature not approving educational increases.
Thank you.
Evan?
I will add, the regents have an appetite for a fee increase this year. They told us that when they were here on campus for the November board meeting. They are extremely willing to entertain fairly substantial increases, and this number that we're presenting is far below the maximum they're willing to go to.
And I will also add to that it is well below the increase that like KU and other constituent university K-Board like institutions are proposing. Senator Heatherman.
To speak to Marcus's question, as just a point of information, in recent years, K-State hasn't had any aspect of their fee specifically denied, but other universities, like specifically KU, has had certain increases denied.
Yeah.
Senator Kermer.
So is the 489.24 for both full-time grad students and full-time undergrad, or does that go up with the grad student tuition?
Ooh, question. I don't know. It doesn't change, does it? No, that is standard for everybody.
It goes down differently if you're enrolled less than full-time. Because full-time for graduate students is 9 hours, Marcus, yeah? So they take that number and divide by 9, and then multiply by the number of hours that you're enrolled in if it's less than 9, and then do the same thing for undergraduates as well.
So max, yes, same.
Are there any further questions or corrections for the author?
Time for questions has expired.
Chair Blood.
Move to extend time for questions by 3 minutes.
Second.
Are there any further questions? Awesome, you may take your seat.
Run.
Seeing as we have exhausted our introduction of legislation, are there any second open period speakers? Senator Pandillo.
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk today about me not being on DEI as a senator. I think it's really funny. I think it's really interesting. I think the people in power chose me not to be in this position is also very concerning and disgusting. Like, I've always spoken out for diverse students, and now that I'm doing it in a way that benefits them and helps them out, I'm not being put on that. So that's really frustrating. But I still have different ways to get onto it, so don't worry about it. But I just want everyone in the room to know that these are your leaders that do this to try to silence your voice if you speak out against them. So just be aware of that and how truly disgusting that is, because you would think that as a prior chair that they would at least want you on there as someone that has historical knowledge. So just keep that in your head. People watching on Zoom, people watching around, constituents know about this. So keep it up. Questions?
I'm just curious if committee meetings are open to the public.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, the committee meeting that I'm in right now meets at that direct time that DI meets, coincidentally. Any more questions? Here to answer them. Yeah.
Yeah, can you speak to the process to which students were assigned to different committees? Like, were you aware of that process at all, or?
I'm not part of leadership, so you could defer the question to Kate.
Yeah, so the committee chairs selected members in sort of a draft format, how it's been done, to my knowledge, every other year. And then, like, that was all looked over.
Any more questions? Okay, thank you.
Senator Spindler.
Okay, guys, so I'll make this kind of quick. If you didn't see, I'm a part of UPC, by the way, so that's Union Program Council. We do a whole lot of events on campus. Last Friday, we announced our concert that comes up the 29th of April, so that's not this Saturday, next Saturday. We're bringing in Ben Rector. The campus, this is part of the Campus Entertainment Fund, which we actually support, like, directly. So it'd be a great thing if we all kind of came out and helped support, because we need the fund's smaller than what it's been in the past because of budget cuts and whatnot. It'd be fun to actually, bring it back to what it's been into. Ben Rector's a big name, but he's kind of small in comparison to other big names we've had in the past. So I think if we can show, if they want around 2,000 people out there on Anderson Lawn to help actually kind of show that this is big, that people want to go do this. So I'm just kind of trying to support it, to say, hey, come out, come to the Ben Rector. It'll be a fun night. The group that's opening is called Lawrence. They're a pretty good group too. It'll be a pretty fun night. So please come out and enjoy, have a good, Friday night or Saturday night before finals and Dead Week. Anyone got any questions or?
Hey guys, so I did just want to say that if anyone has any questions or concerns about committee placements, or if any of you want to join more than one committee, please feel free to reach out to me or the chair of those committees. I would be more than happy to talk to anybody about more so like what that process looked like. And also, if anyone wants to serve on more than one committee, we can get you placed on those committees. So please let me know. Are there any questions? Senator Griffith?
How was the Strategic Oversight Committee filled without a committee chair?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. So Speaker Pro Tempore Kappelman went ahead and did the member selection for the Oversight Committee because he was a member of the committee all year, and we figured that he would be a good fit for filling those spots in the interim. Senator Kidd.
Sorry, thank you. If senators choose to serve on multiple committees, are they still adhere to the same attendance requirements for those two same committees, or is there a little bit more of lax with, or if you
It is
defer to
just
someone
as
else?
stringent as the normal attendance policy.
Yes, not a problem. Are there any further questions? Senator Griffith.
Three words. Board Game Club. 7 to 10, Friday. I've talked about this like, 4 times and no one showed up? Come on, if you have a free Friday, you can play one game. It's fun, come on. 7 to 10, room on Friday, room 206 in the Union. You can play one game, just come on. We only got a few more meetings. It's gonna be finals week. You're gonna be stressed. You know what you want to do? Play board games. So come to the board game club where you play board games.
He will be taking no questions. Chair Long.
I've lost my name tag somewhere. I found my name tag.
Fun facts from Chair Long. If you don't know, I'm a construction major, if it wasn't very obvious. Tommy Compton, what makes fire sprinklers go off?
Smoke.
Smoke. No, wrong. That's what I thought too.
Heat. The temperature.
Well done. So fire sprinklers.
Why did you say
I saw Jamie Fogel first. He gets bragging rights. Fire sprinklers have a pressurized water line that is stopped by a glass canister full of liquid that expands under heat, obviously, and that it's very specifically calibrated when it reaches around 160 or so, depending on the strength of the fire sprinkler, to crack, and the stopper shoots down and water shoots out. That's how fire sprinklers work. So they are not at all connected to fire alarms. They are not affected by heat.
They are. They are affected by heat.
They are not affected by smoke. I got an A on that test, though. Bryce Atchison.
What about smoke detectors?
Bryce, they are in fact detected by smoke.
Okay.
Jeremy.
Point of information, actually smoke detectors have an americium atom in there that...
Evan.
Why did you tell us this fact? Yeah, it's relevant.
In case you all need to set up a fire sprinkler.
That's a really good point.
Might save your life someday or win you money on a game show.
Thank you, Chair Long.
Ryan Blatt.
Is this Jacob Long's version of stand-up comedy?
Oh, what?
Stand-up comedy. This is your version.
It seems to be working pretty well, so sure. RJ.
No, I'm not.
Where's RJ in here?
What?
I got back.
Jamie.
Let's try and be a little quiet, guys.
Can you give me a history of when that technology started to get into?
For the sake of the body, no, I will not. I think we're done now. Thank you all.
Senator Solomon.
We'll give something that's more important than that. This Saturday is Little Apple Pride. It is the Pride celebration here in Manhattan. We do it during the school year because students are obviously gone during summer, and so less people get to participate. If you're interested, whether you are queer, whether you're just an ally, I would recommend coming out on Saturday, the 22nd. It starts at 3. You can meet in like the parking lot of City Park by the pool. And that's where the parade starts. If you want to like walk in the parade, I think the parade usually lasts like an hour or so, and then I believe there's gonna be like tables and activities and people there in the like ice skating rink center situation. It's like a multi-use facility, but that is also in City Park. So lots of cool stuff. There's gonna be a drag show, I believe. Yeah, it's a great time. Any questions? Sick.
Are there any further second open period speakers tonight? Senator Kidd.
Okay, so I know we're right at 8 o'clock, so I'll be sure to keep this brief. I just want to say that one, it's good to see you all face to face and not through a Zoom screen. I'm fully recovered from surgery, so I'm glad to be back in the chamber with everyone else. So, fun fact, which is kind of gross, when they went up in my nose, they basically had to carve out and like cauterize to make new nostrils for me. So that was cool. Hope you guys like the nose. But really though, so a lot of you, the first thing that you've said to me has been, oh my gosh, your hair. So in full transparency and out of full vanity, when I was recovering from surgery, my nose looked super crooked and swollen, and that the swollen part's supposed to happen. It looking crooked, not so much. So as I was thinking about, oh, now I need to get a plastic surgeon or whatever, I thought, let me distract everyone that comes into contact with me by chopping off all my hair. So by that, when you more than likely will see me, you'll say, oh, you got a haircut versus, oh, your nose may or may not look crooked. So, but no, I'm glad to be back. It was time for a new, fresh look. So there's that. The third thing I wanted to say, and I was going to wait to say this till next week, but since we're going into Dead Week and Finals Week, I just wanted to share it now. Please be sure that you watch your mental health, that you watch your stress levels. One of my classmates from high school, We're really good friends. She passed away a few days ago. Part of it was from a stress-based cerebral hemorrhage, and then the other part was from a immune tryphocytopenia, which was basically internal bleeding. So the two combined together is what unfortunately made her succumb to her injuries, and so she passed away. It was a very surreal experience. As a lot of you may know, my mom works on campus in Justin Hall. Her dad works with my mom in Justin Hall, and so as they were donating her organs to other people across the country, we were getting text message updates, and so it's very, very surreal. But what that really helped reinforce for me is, which was the big part of, watch your stress. And so as we engage with each other throughout this new term, there are going to be very passionate and very charged conversations, but don't let that be what stresses you out. Student organizations, I know that a lot of us are involved in a lot of other things across campus, but again, don't let that be the stress that does you in. Your mental health and your stress levels really do matter. So make sure that you're connecting with those that can listen to you and hear you out when you need them. If anyone needs a listening ear, I'm always here to listen as well, so just something to keep in mind. But as we go into our 10th week of finals week, just of course, remember to study, but remember to have a positive attitude as well, because your outlook on your grades is definitely an important factor too. So, and that's it, pretty much. Thank you.
Senator Koch.
Short. Adding on to Marcus's point, there is a Green Bandana presentation next Tuesday at 6 in the Staley School Town Hall. You guys should totally come check that out and get some more mental health resources. That's it.
Awesome. Are there any further second open period speakers tonight? Okay. Seeing none, we will move into reference of legislation. You're going to refer Resolution 23-2415 to the new Student Services Fee Committee. Speaker Pro Tempore Kappelman will do our Senate shoutouts.
Shout out to Google Forms. Shout out to Hannah Hartzell for her new Spanish language endeavors. Shout out to Carson because he would lose to Evan in a fight. Shout out to our SGA member of the week, Bike Boy. Shout out to Nick's bike pen. It makes him look like Big Brave Bike Boy. Shout out to Lainey and Katie. I'm so excited to have you join us, and I'm excited to see what you do over the next year. Shout out to Brian Blood for 3 more minutes. Shout out to Hammer Hammer Bang Bang, chair long. Shout out Top Amurism and to Jeremy for being a nerd. Shout out to Colton Cup. Shout out to Jacob Sprinkler. Shout out to Marcus Kidd for being a sexy man. Shout out to Senator Cup. Shout out to Cup. And that's all we got.
Okay, Senator Kappelman will move into second roll call.
Abigier. Here. Atchison. Here. Ayers. Bellamy. Here. Biggs. Yeah. Blood. Here. Broughton. Here. Bruckner. Here. Cup. Here. Koch.
Here.
Compton. Here. Cuesta. Here. Dennis.
Here.
Drotz.
Here.
Dunce.
Here.
Fogel. Here. Glasscock.
Here.
Griffith.
Here.
Hartzell.
Here.
Heatherman.
Here.
Hoffmans. Here. Jacobson.
Here.
Kamen.
Here.
Kidd.
Here.
Kermer.
Here.
Kinsey.
Here.
Long.
Here.
Moore. O'Malley.
Here.
Oury. Pelton.
Here.
Peterson. Pondillo.
Here.
Porter.
Here.
Rios.
Here.
Revert.
Here.
Rodriguez Melendez.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
Saya Carly.
Here.
Saya Nick.
Here.
Salmon.
Here.
Spindler.
Here.
Strunk. Sushanik.
Here.
West.
Here.
And Wolf.
Here.
All right, thanks everybody.
Senator Porter.
I move to adjourn until Thursday, April 27th at 7 p.m. In Wildcat Chamber.
Are there any objections? Clay Pelton, will you come up here for a sec? Y'all, he is not in trouble.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. It is your fault. You allowed the thing in my house. I mean, yeah, I don't just go back. I don't want to.